There's one change you can make to your sleep tonight that costs nothing and could add years to your life. It's sleep regularity, simply going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time each day. And I'll be honest, for years I didn't think it mattered much either, but here's what the research shows. Scientists took healthy young people, gave them a full night's sleep, and just shifted when they slept, and within days some had become pre-diabetic. Same amount of sleep, only the timing changed. That's why leading experts now consider this the single most important thing you can do for your sleep, and it's vital for your health. In this video, I'll show you what's happening inside your body, and it's fascinating. You don't have one body clock, you have trillions of them. I'll show you why the weekend lie-in might be harming you, and the 3 simple steps to get all those clocks back in sync. I'm Dr. Eoghan Colgan, an NHS doctor and sleep coach. Medical school didn't teach me any of this, so I do my own investigating. Let's jump right in. So let's start with why irregular sleep is so bad for you. And to be clear, irregular sleep simply means varying the times you go to bed and get up across the week. Now, across a range of large studies, irregular sleepers had a 26% higher risk of a major heart event, such as a heart attack, heart failure, or stroke, a 35% higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Some studies suggest up to a 53% higher risk of dementia and up to a 48% higher risk of dying. And here's the kicker, people hitting their 7 to 9 hours were still at risk. Getting an adequate amount of sleep did not protect them. So why is it so harmful? Well, let's return to that study I mentioned at the start. Healthy volunteers, normal amount of sleep but shifting when they slept. Within just a matter of days, their bodies started to malfunction. Blood sugar control got worse, some drifted into pre-diabetic levels after meals, blood pressure rose, and their cortisol, the stress hormone that should peak in the morning, started peaking at night instead. All real damaging effects. So why does your body care so much about when you sleep? This is where it gets fascinating and starts with something we got wrong for a long time. You don't have one body clock, you have trillions. There is a master clock in your brain, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It keeps time for the whole body, and it's primarily controlled by light. Most people have heard of that one. But here's what we've only recently discovered. Almost every cell in your body has its own clock too. That's trillions of tiny clocks controlling about 40% of all your genes, telling them when to switch on and off. Your liver, your pancreas, your gut, your heart, each organ keeping its own time. Your whole biology is on a daily schedule. But here's the catch. These clocks are controlled by different signals. The master clock runs on light, as I said, but the clocks in your liver and your gut, they're controlled mostly by when you eat. So when you're sleeping, your meals are all over the place, your clocks drift apart. Your brain thinks it's morning, but your liver still thinks it's the middle of the night. And this wreaks havoc. Here's why. A finely tuned body does the right things at the right times. In the daytime, the body cranks up, digesting, alert, active, and at night it winds down to rest and repair. When those clocks drift apart, your body is trying to do the right things, but at the wrong times. This is what is so harmful. Take digestion. Say you've been living chaotically and you wake early and eat breakfast earlier than usual. Part of your body still thinks it's night and it isn't ready for food, so it handles the meal badly. Your blood sugar climbs higher than it should and stays up for longer. Take your heart. At night, it's meant to wind down, your blood pressure drops, giving your heart and blood vessels a rest. But when your clocks are out of sync, that drop doesn't happen properly, your blood pressure stays up when it should be recovering, and your heart doesn't get the rest it needs. And at night, while you sleep, your brain normally clears out waste built up during the day. And some researchers believe that if you're out of sync, this waste clearance doesn't happen effectively, increasing the risk of dementia. Having the odd shift in your body clock, for example, when you go on holiday overseas, is okay and you recover fine. But do it consistently for years, and that constant mismatch quietly chips away at your health. So what can you do about it? Well, it comes down to a few simple things. The single most powerful move is to anchor your wake-up time. So get up at roughly the same time every day, weekends included, or at a minimum, no more than 1 hour difference. So if you get up at 7 a.m. during the week, get up no later than 8 a.m. on the weekend. This is the easiest lever you have, and by fixing it, the other actions become easier. And if you're thinking, but surely a good lie-in and catching up on lost sleep at the weekend is a good thing, I'm afraid not. More on that in the next section. Then get light into your eyes soon after waking. Daylight is best. Even a few minutes outside beats indoor light. But you can use a sad lamp, but ensure it has over 10,000 lux. These two actions set your master clock for the day. But to sync your organs to the master clock, have a regular eating schedule and primarily avoid eating late. This is what drags your organ rhythm away from the body clock rhythm. You don't need to be rigid. Just give your body a few hours between your last meal and bed. And that's really it. Get up at the same time every day, get morning light, don't eat late. Now, if you work night shifts or you have a new baby or your life is never the same 2 days running, I'm not going to pretend this is easy for you. It isn't. There are things you can do that's beyond the scope of this video, but leave a comment if you'd like me to cover this in the future. But keeping as much as you can control, as regular as you can, will still help, and try to restore that regularity as soon as you are able. So why is sleeping in on the weekend not a good thing? Because here's what actually happens. If you're up at 6:30 all week and then you sleep in until 9:30 on Saturday, that's a 3-hour swing. You get up later, you get your first light later, you will likely eat later. It's like flying to a different time zone for the weekend and then flying back on Monday every single week. That's why it's called social jet lag, and it knocks your clocks out of sync, and importantly, on a regular basis. And researchers tested the impact of this, and the results were really surprising. They compared two groups who both got a little less sleep during the week than they should. One group then caught up at the weekend with a lie-in. The other group got no catch-up. They continued to get a little less sleep than they should. And here's the strange part. The catch-up group developed problems the other group didn't. Their muscles and liver started handling sugar worse, and they gained more weight, even though they got more total sleep. The amount of sleep you get matters, yes, but probably more important is how regular it is. The most powerful thing you can do is keep your wake-up time steady, even at the weekend. A lie-in feels like a reward, but it is likely causing you more harm than good. So I've had my struggles with sleep over the years, mostly night shift and general stress levels. I tried many things to fix it, but sleep regularity is the thing that made the most impact, and by a long way. I get up around 6 a.m. every day, I get light first thing, often with a sad lamp as I exercise. I wind down around 10 and I'm asleep by about 10:30 or 11. I get about 6.5 to 7 hours sleep, and I feel great during the day and then really tired at the same time every night. I fall asleep quickly, and I suspect that my sleep quality is much better. This has been a big part of my overall life transformation. If you'd like to find out more, there's a free guide in the pinned comment and description below. So here's what I want you to take away. Stop chasing the perfect 8 hours. In fact, that might be too much. More on that in an upcoming video, and click subscribe so you don't miss it. Instead, focus on regularity. Choose a wake-up time that you can stick to every day of the week. Get some morning light, and don't eat too late. The number that actually matters: at the weekends, don't drift more than 1 hour from the midweek wake-up time. This is the number one thing you can do for great sleep. Get this right, and everything else gets easier. Don't forget to leave a comment. I love hearing real-world experiences, and I answer every single one. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.